So today's rant is going to be about these weird PhD scientists that want to claim GMO, genetically modified organisms, is the same as crossbreeding and making hybrids. So taking Indian mustard and converting it into broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, kohlrabi, basically every brassica we know and eat, that is not the same as genetically modifying an organism, cross species. So taking Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria and then putting that into corn so that the larva cannot eat the kernels of corn, or taking an algae that is resistant to Roundup and crossing that with corn, cotton, soybean, pretty much everything, so that it will resist Roundup. This is not the same procedure, and crossing a species and making it do something like make a head of cabbage or make a head of broccoli or a bulb like kohlrabi or rutabaga, that is not genetically modified. That is just taking something that is one species and breeding it for a trait. Even if you breed it for being fungus resistant, that's not genetically modified. If you take some other species, say a bacteria or an algae or something like that, and then cross that and put it into the genes that would have never been there, that is genetically modified. But this is what universities want to teach students, is that genetically modified is just the same as crossing and making hybrids. The downside to hybrids is that you cannot store those seeds because they will sprout up and be crazy stuff. So like you take a zucchini squash, it most likely is going to have, a hybrid will have crazy things that come out. It'll be pumpkin-like or, whatever. These traits, they'll kind of mutate and revert back to their original state. But when you make something resistant to something by cross species, taking something that would have never been there, that is genetically modified. And then that will cause mutations in the lower gut and cause the disease. This is where we get in trouble. It is not through hybridization. Hybridization has fed millions of people. And that's also the other thing that universities want to teach our kids, is that without GMO we can't feed the world. Without hybridization and making strains resistant to disease and bugs and stuff like that, that is true. But genetically modified organisms that by Monsanto, they were just bought up by Bayer to give them a good name. They're going to put out Roundup under a new name. That is dangerous and is going to poison the world, poison our food supply. Genetically modified salmon, they with a big hurricane or storm, could get loose in the wild population. They're more aggressive. They could eat feeder fish. They will out-survive the native salmon. These are environmental issues. These are real environmental issues, not chasing down this carbon monster and that we're all bad if we breathe air, CO2 out. Oh my, humans are the problem in the world. Rid the world of all humans. They want to ignore the real environmental issues of cross species breaking loose, and then you have these organic farms getting the genetically modified crops breeding with theirs and tainting their crops, then Monsanto suing them. The big beast is the big corporation and the global agenda to basically destroy the world and destroy our food supply, while they all eat nice organic food.